Let's go.
Strong signal. Station.
We're rolling. We're gonna go in 7, 6, 5, 4,
Bringing you on the front line and beyond the headlines.
Outside the wire.
Outside the wire.
Nancy Pelosi lashed out at Republicans today, or yesterday, saying they want the Iraq war to drag on. They're ignoring the public's priorities. They like this war. They want this war to continue, said Pelosi. If you're going to run around, Ms. Pelosi, and you're going to say Republicans like the war, then can we also assume that Democrats like killing babies? Put that in whatever it is you smoke, Ms. Pelosi, and have fun with it.
I've been writing columns for a few years now, so I've had the opportunity to see patterns when they look me square in the face. And based on my recent encounters with Ron Paul supporters, patterns have begun to emerge. When you look at some of the pictures of his supporters, you see young and old alike. But you also see the peace signs, the word love reversed in the word revolution. What one clearly sees is a bunch of disenfranchised liberals who've assumed they found a welcoming new home. They've clearly identified with the anti-war message of Dr. Paul. Obviously, these people feel betrayed by the Democrats with whom they voted for in 2006 after being promised an end to the Iraq War. Democrats clearly have been unable to make good on their many promises. While that's not news to real Republicans, the anti-war left has been left dismayed, betrayed, and rudderless. Dr. Paul has the attention of the anti-war crowd, thus he's attracted them into his camp, as they won't trust a Democrat at least for the foreseeable future. I say they assume they've found a new home because these are the same people who, over the last few years, have loudly and proudly called conservatives every name in the book. They've called us racists, homophobes, bigots, hate mongers, sexists, and more. They've called me an Uncle Tom, wannabe white, and that's from white liberals. Look at what they did to Condoleezza Rice, and we're damn proud of it. However, they've now found a man of principle who just happens to be a Republican. Just because they now find certain conservative principles acceptable doesn't make any of them the real deal. And like elephants, Republicans never forget. Paul's supporters claim to embrace his message of smaller government. However, these are the same people who demanded federally funded student loans and free health care for illegal aliens. These are the same people who always advocate for some new program for the poor and disenfranchised. And now, just because they've found religion, we're just supposed to open the door and forget all the years of slanderous shout-downs and say, "Welcome home." When certain candidates or a party realizes they're hemorrhaging support, the first thing they usually ask is, how do we get them back? I've heard no Democrat presidential candidate attempt to lure the Paulies back home. Maybe, just maybe, that's because they don't want them back. After all, would any of us open the door to people who occupy our offices, infiltrate our meetings, protest us in front of our workplaces, throw paint on our war dead memorials, and shout us down during presentations in which we were invited? And now they expect us to say, "Welcome to the Republican Party," just because they now demand we listen to them and their candidate? There are sour grapes and deep suspicions here. I don't trust these people for a minute. Within the many emails I've received from the Paulies, I've been talked down to like a child, had my intelligence questioned, cursed at, and all because I committed the mortal sin of not mentioning their candidate by name in a column where I was taking Republican presidential candidates to my own personal woodshed. Their emails are all about their feelings. It's all about me, and damn anyone who won't hear them out. Someone has to ask what the real motive is here. Should Paul get the nomination and bring his supporters into our party, what kind of changes will they demand to bring from within? Will they demand political correctness be instituted? Will they attempt to stifle speech they don't authorize? Will they shout us down? In fact, all of the traits most of these people seem to have on display are those the Democrat Party seems to have no problem jettisoning. And they're jettisoning them right into the Republican Party. That's my conspiracy theory. I don't think I'm that far off.